Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis, and on this channel I cover important lessons and takeaways that I get from viral topics. Today I wanted to talk about 10 upsides and advantages of being the friend that is not approached, of being the friend that is considered not so attractive, being the friend that is not so sought after. And what inspired me to make a video like this one is because I've seen a lot of content creators, especially women, who have made videos regarding this topic, not being the most sought after, being the invisible friend, being the least attractive friend, etc. Some of them have a positive message behind it. It encourages self-confidence. But then sometimes when I hear some of these girls talk about the pain and the low self-esteem that comes with not being sought after, it kind of breaks my heart. And I think there's way more upsides to it than we would like to admit. I think there's way more advantages and benefits to not being the friend that is most noticed. And I feel like some people miss that sometimes. So let's get into the video, shall we? Number one, I want people to remember that rejection is the best and the safest form of protection. I don't think I can stress this enough, and I think it's easier said than done, but I really want the friends who don't get as much attention to sit down and really have a heartfelt conversation with the friend who get the most of attention. And you guys can swap stories, the good and the bad, and maybe you can learn something from one another. Because I promise you, having the spotlight on you all the time, it's really unsafe, especially as a woman. And I don't think a lot of women realize how much being the not so visible friend is actually the best thing that could happen to you. There are some advantages that people who are always approached can get, but there's also a price to pay. And I feel like a lot of people who are not sought after don't consider that. There's always a price to pay for anything, and there's a good and bad to everything. The good can look really good, but trust me, the bad would match the energy of the good. Like, for example, more money, more problems. It looks good to be rich, but the problems that come with being rich is something that most people are not willing to handle. Rejection is the best and the safest form of protection. Number two, you have the time and space to do the inner work. When we get a lot of attention, it's a lot of people who approach us, but they always have their own agenda. It's very rare for people to approach you in a selfless way, just approach you because they love you and they want to help. People will just show up wanting what they can get from you. If it's money, or if it's the benefit of looking good with a pretty person besides them, sometimes people will just want to be around you to have some of that clout. And when you are not the most visible friend, when you are not sought after, it gives you enough time and space to get the inner work. Because at the end of the day, you can be attractive from the outside all you want, but if you don't have the inner confidence, if you don't have the mind and the soul and the confidence in you to handle what comes with being sought after or attractive, it really doesn't matter. So when you are the friend who gets the least amount of attention, you don't have to worry about too many people distracting you from doing the inner work. It just makes room. You can breathe. You have enough time and space. Number three, your confidence is going to come from within, not the fake confidence, which is only based on looks. The confidence from within, the best kind of confidence, you do not need anybody else's approval or opinion to feel good about yourself. That type of confidence is the best kind of confidence. When you do not focus so much on the attention that you get around you, that just gives you ammunition to be able to work on your own self, to love yourself without anybody else's opinion. That confidence from within is the best kind of confidence you could ever think of. And trust me, that's a confidence that even some of the most attractive people don't know what it feels like. But you, as a person who's not very sought after, you have too much put in place for you to grow into somebody who doesn't need anything from anybody, to just love yourself. All of this is easier said than done, but trust me, it's possible. And when you find a way to see how beneficial it is to be the friend that is not always under the spotlight, or that is not always being sought after, coveted, etc., you really would learn how to love your life. And That's the type of love that cannot be explained, because people around you wouldn't even know what that kind of love feels like, a lot of them, but only you would know. Number 4, girls that are not very sought after, in my opinion, have a better chance of meeting people who love them for them. Girls who are not sought after, or just girls who are considered average and even below average, have a better chance of meeting somebody who wants to be your partner, because after those women or those girls have done the inner work, some of them will have the best personality and some of them will be the smartest. The best men you could get, or not even men, sorry, but the best partners you could get are partners who see more than your pretty face. And they're willing to work with everything you got. Your brains, they will find you beautiful. They would find you smart. They will find all those other qualities in you that all the superficial people overlook because they only care about looks. I really do believe from the bottom of my heart that the women who are not very noticed, the average looking girls, have a better chance of finding a partner who's gonna last longer with them, who is gonna see them for who they really are, and who's gonna love them for real. For this to happen though, you have to take a moment to realize that you not being the center of attention is actually a blessing, and you can just become the better version of yourself. You have to really pour into yourself and not just wait on somebody else to do it. Number 5, I believe that the people who are not sought after, especially the women, actually have a better chance of seeing others for who they really are. People can be so fake to people who they consider attractive because they want to impress them. It's like when you're an attractive person, people want to impress you, people want to be your friend. But when you're on the other side of it, people don't care. They will show you who they really are. So when you are considered attractive, people don't show you your bad sides. You're just gonna have to do the extra work to figure it out on your own. And that's not always a good thing. If you want a real relationship that involves partnership, emotions, love, care, communication, you really want to know the red flags and you want to know what's not working right away so you don't waste your time. But when you're attractive, people are more prone to lying. Number 6, I would say when you are the friend that doesn't get too much attention, you are a little more stress-free and it is a little less scary. When it comes to us as women in our own female spaces, just doing you, and people are just pretty much gonna let you do you in a way. I think that's way better than having to deal with the pressure of having people hating you for no reason, or having people wanting to attack you for no reason, having people wanting to prove that they have the ability to kill your spirit. That's the type of things that happen to people who are considered attractive or who get a lot of attention. I personally love not getting any attention sometimes. It just gives you so much area of peace where you can be stress-free and less scared. 7, I would say people don't realize how much attractive looking women would like to actually be on the other side or in the middle. When you are the friend who's not so sought after, your popular friends sometimes would like to be in your shoes. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna swap places with you if they had a chance to, but that's only because society has made us feel like being in your shoes is better. But if you really think about it, it's not. And I'm pretty sure sometimes they would want the life that you have, but they're just not going to be able to vocalize it by saying that they want what you have, because you're supposed to be the friend who's not so covered it. So I really do believe that some of the most sought after people, attractive people, would like to be in a position where they don't have to worry about all the pain that comes with what they have to deal with, or the pain that comes with them looking the way they do or being appealing the way they are. People who are not so sought after have to realize that you are pretty much envied. Even some of the women who call you unattractive or ugly will try to pick on you. They're pretty much just trying to make you feel as bad as them. Like, I don't know if sometimes you guys have seen a woman who's clearly very attractive, but she's still so bitter that she wants to let a girl who's considered less attractive than her know how much unattractive she is. basically just trying to hurt women's feelings. She needs people to be miserable just like her. Being attractive, being sought after doesn't mean happiness. When you realize that the grass is not so green on the other side, you can just get over some of the depression that comes with not being so attractive or visible or sought after. Number 8, people who don't get enough attention have way more power because those are usually the people who are behind the scenes. They are the ones who get to decide who's popular or not, if we're going to be honest here. What I mean by that is, as the people who are considered attractive get all this attention, that attention comes from other people. And usually those other people are not other attractive people, because those attractive people are too worried about making sure that they look good for themselves and to impress others. But when you are a person who's not so sought after, it's almost as if you have the power to be behind the scenes and to pretty much give confidence to the people who are considered attractive. Now, do more people know this? No. A lot of people don't realize how much power they have. But when you are the friend who's not always under the spotlight, when you are the friend who is not approached, it might feel like you are nobody. But if you really think about it, you have the most power. You get to have influence over how your attractive friends feel. Matter of fact, a lot of attractive women only hang out with women who are not so coveted or are not so approached because they want to make themselves feel better. Now, imagine if you had enough confidence without needing attention on you all the time. That's going to kill the confidence of your attractive friends who need to be approached to feel like they're doing something. So as a person who's in the middle, maybe average, maybe below average, not so attractive, if you really think about it, you have so much power, way more power than you know. But do people know this? I don't think so. Popular people need fans. And usually it's the non-popular people who are the fan base. And when you are the fan base, you dictate how somebody goes to the top and you dictate how somebody falls down. That's the power that people who are not on the spotlight have. Number 9, when you are the friend that is not the center of attention, you are in the best position to become the better version of yourself. When you are already down under, you can only go to the top from there. I think a lot of people don't realize how much of a blessing this is because you get to face your reality before everyone else. The women who are usually sought after and get all the attention have an illusion that they have this beautiful life, even when they don't. But you, who don't have all this attention, you get to face reality with a quickness. At a very early stage, you know that you're at the bottom and you have to work your way to the top. The feeling that comes with going from one state of mind to the next is unmatched. And I think these are feelings that only the underdog get to feel. Those are some of your popular achievers, like people in sports, for example, or some of the best and biggest creatives the world have ever had were usually people who were never accepted or were like shy or were being bullied in school. And now all of a sudden, they make it to a level where nobody ever expected them to. And that's because they started at the bottom and they knew they started at the bottom and they just worked their way up. It's a lot of people who are considered attractive who they don't even realize that they're at the bottom. I think that's another advantage that people who are not so sought after have that nobody else has. They know your reality, they start from the bottom and then they can climb to the top. And they are more likely to be admired at the end because they have a lot to show for. Number 10, nobody gets to shape your reality for you. When you don't have any eyes on you, it's less opinions about your life. For me, for example, when I was young, I would have loved to be a celebrity like my favorite actors and actresses. And now that I'm in my 20s, no, I don't want that life. When you don't have eyes on you, you get to make mistakes. You get to shape your own reality without really anybody having your input in it. It's a good thing. It's beneficial. And I don't think people realize how much of a good thing it is because everybody wants to be in the shoes of the person who gets all this attention. But Trust me, it's not worth it. You, as a person who doesn't get sought after too much, you get to be able to shape yourself. You get to be able to mold yourself into what you want to, into what works best for you. People who are very much sought after and have the attention on them, they feel a certain loyalty to maybe your fans or the people that they're trying to impress in a way that people who are not so sought after ever have to really worry about. And this concludes the end of the video. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and like and comment, because why not? That's really gonna help your girl out. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this makes a lot of sense, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.